What's up, Internet? My name is Bobby, and with me is Chase. We are 2/3 of the casual hour, and if you give us about 15 to 20 minutes, we're going to let you know if Oddsparks and Automation Adventure is worth your time. Chase, how are you feeling?
I know what this is.
Oh, this is just straight up porn at this point in time.
Not for me.
For one of us, though. Actually, there is something here that I think you'll appreciate. This
Okay. All right.
It is an automation game, clearly in the title. For those of you who don't know the casual hour, I'm a sicko. I need help. I love automation and
Bobby likes building
crafting.
farms. He likes building factories.
Yes.
That's his thing.
That's my thing. This game is in early access, Chase. It's one that somehow I think maybe we skipped over on some of the demos and stuff that we check out for Next Fest. But it is out in about, I think they said there's like 20-ish hours of gameplay available for folks. I mean, you could probably put a lot more into it, but they've got about 20 hours worth of content in this game right now. Do you know anything about the developers or?
Yeah, I was looking them up. I was looking them up before. So they've got a few games here on Steam. Squishies, which is a VR game.
Okay.
Spitlings. That came out in 2020. And then, Bobby, this is great. We should do a quick look on this. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? The video game.
Wait, like the Jeff Foxworthy show?
Yes. From this, I cannot tell if virtual Jeff Foxworthy is part of the game or not. Looking through screenshots, no, there is no virtual Jeff Foxworthy, unfortunately. But yes,
quick look
the developer Massive Mini Team has worked on all these games.
Nice. I believe this is only on PC right now, given the early access. But I
but
don't
it is on Steam and Epic. So if you if you care about either of those platforms, those are the platforms to get. It is $18 right now.
All right. Well, so Chase, this is a pretty interesting take on the genre. I think that they're going to try and do more of quest, which I appreciate. And in this village that you're a part of, you've got...
Ooh, I like this map.
Yeah, this map's really cool. You've got ancient waypoints that you can activate to travel to. You've got a merchant, the divine researcher. You have a woodsman, a quartermaster, a mayor, and again, the Mason sisters here. And this is where you're going to be getting your quest. Those quests can be activated over here as far as your menu goes. You just go to your logbook, and you can see what your main quests are. And they start off with a tiered village expansion. And you basically just need to go and bring the next thing you unlock in a certain quantity to expand further. When you expand further, you get to go out into the other map portions, which is kind of where we're going to be heading up to do some other fun stuff here.
So this hub was all pre-built. You didn't build any of this.
Yeah. This I don't have anything to do with this one here.
Got it.
So this is just the little community you're in, which I really like the art style quite a bit. You do get to customize your character and set up like a little hood and cloak for him, and we'll talk a little bit about what that staff does here in a second. But let's head out into the world that we're actually spending the most of the time in on these quests. And one of the things about this game that you're probably going to see here very quickly is there's a lot of little friends that help me do my bidding. And I've just set up some spots.
You've conscripted slaves is what I'm seeing.
Woodland slaves, yes. Little friends here.
Definitely no problems with this.
No, not at all. But they work in these tokens. And so I have a carry spark, which I'll go ahead and just grab some of these to show you. Stumpy is the kind of vanilla starting one that you have. And then you have a Lomi. And let me grab Choppy and one more here with Crafty. So I can then, let's say I want to get Choppy down here, and I'm going to put my carries down here. And now I have like this little Pikmin crew that hangs out with me.
Okay. I like that.
It's awesome. It's a very similar thing. So if I want to get some of these areas down here, let me switch over to my Choppy. You just throw them exactly like Pikmins, and they'll start to do your gathering and even hunting if you need to get certain things from that critter over there. And then they'll bring all this stuff back to you. And they also are what power up your machines. They're also what can actually do the work. So if we come back over to this first little hub, and this is where they teach you the formatting. They basically give you this waypoint, and you get this spark shrine. So when you come into it, you can assign sparks, and the sparks have different attributes. So the crafty ones, if I go into I think it's in the logbook, I can show this. Where's that at? Here we go. So when you click in on one of these, it'll show you their statistics. And the crafty spark is really just the most efficient when it comes to running an operation. So I always try and put crafty sparks actually working, and you can see them here. I can take this one out and I can put in one of my stumpy ones, and then now there'll be two different ones in there working.
Little, so you're not gonna guess based on like the stars seen when you looked at the stats. Even though crafty was more efficient, like it had 2 stars, it was 2 out of 5. So I'm guessing there are going to be upgraded sparks at some point.
I think there will be, and I think that there's probably going to be things that lets you like maybe get a rare one or like level up one. I haven't encountered that yet, but I think that would be really cool, like a shiny for the Pokemon fans out there, or something to that degree. But you have these really cute little character designs, and they each are going to be working in a certain capacity for you. So like this is your basic spark. This is a one-use special spark that regrows the local plants where it's thrown. So if you are starting to really purge an area for a resource, I can replenish it quickly with a throwaway here. I mean, it'll quote unquote kill this spark, but that will allow you to then regrow that.
You're
and then,
sending it back to the live stream.
Yes, James Cameron. Yeah. Yes, I'm absolutely doing that.
Final Fantasy VII, but sure, yeah.
You get what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So then,
James Cameron, Cloud Strife, same guy, really.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I mean, I can't even keep up with who's who there.
You didn't finish Rebirth, but that is 100% what happens. It's James Cameron comes out and he goes, "I'm gonna make Titanic later." Maybe before. When did Titanic came out? When?
Oh my God! Well, in the early 1900s, actually.
To what's happening?
You're gonna find certain barren areas like this where you have an ancient base. So when you come into your build menu, it's actually pretty straightforward. This isn't hobbing together parts and pieces. They give you a blueprint to follow, which is great. And these are just tied to the resources that you would have available. So if I wanted to build a saw bench, I could. But these here, you can actually get to a point where you are assembling your own sparks, which is what these are. Because you're going to find naturally in the world, and that's how you get these. Like you have to get certain points and parts that allow you to build something to expand further into this big overworld map, which I'm starting to get into this fringe area and add in a few more. So like I just found this hauling spark shrine, but I can't unlock it yet because I haven't gotten to world tier 4, which you can see here. So once I get that unlocked, I can go up here and get a free one of the hauling spark. But I do like that the map tells you what the shrines are. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can piece together this giant rock. So I know I'm going to have somebody that can like break apart those. Here's a choppy spark. That's where I got the little swords that help out. And then these bigger waypoints, I can go and activate. So this one that you see is red. Well, that's because I've got this being given a fuel source, which is just logs. So if I come back over to our actual, am I going the right fucking way? Yeah, I am. I'll show you what I'm talking about there. So I have a fast travel point to get to, and I'm going to walk you through just kind of one of these setups so that you see what the different things that you can unlock are.
Okay.
But when we get over here,
is there any danger here? I mean, I know you've sent. Okay.
Yeah. So the further you get on that, like this area here is docile. Like you're going to be okay where we're at. But if you go out a bit further, there are things that, like you didn't have choppy blade for a while, and that was a big deal. Like not being able to take out those enemy types, and now we have the sword crew, and it's exactly like Pikmin in that sense. Like you can throw a bunch of these things to die, and now that I have a lot of them, they will, but they go back to the earth, as James Cameron and you said so eloquently. So,
yeah. By the way, Titanic and Final Fantasy VII both came out in 1997. Coincidence? I think not.
I think not. So this ancient waypoint requires a log fuel system, and we have that being taken care of up here. So what I've done is, and you can build paths anywhere you want, and there's no cost to that, and I can just delete these if I want a certain point like that, or I just
Do
them.
paths do anything for you? Like, do they run
Yeah, that's
faster
the
on
only,
paths?
not me, but that's the only way that your sparks will work. Now I could do a
I see.
pin,
Okay.
but they will. So if I was going to throw one of these onto a path here, you see I got that arrow that pops up. Mm-hmm. That would then put this onto that path, and they can only go on one side. So they're only going to walk on the right side of it. And they're going to keep going until there's something to do here. So this one's missing an Aether Shard. I'll just go ahead and grab that. And we're going to start using this to make the standard sparks that we have. So I have them going to this barrel. Once I put this into here, because that's the only thing I haven't like automated over here because I don't have a natural spot to get the ore for it. So I'm refilling this, but the log portion is being taken care of. So what I've done, I have a logging system here and it's going incredibly efficient, but I could also change this just to be bark, and I have another spot doing that. Here, this is going to, they're going to produce up to 20 logs that go into this holding pit. This little guy is going to fill up these 2 holding pits that I've made. Now I could do a barrel like you see here, and that's just storage. But when I do one of these, it allows other of the sparks to grab it. And I'm actually going to put my sparks up so you can see a bit more here. So they're going to grab these, and they're just going to be fulfilling like these 2 spots because they know that these need logs to function. They will stop putting logs in here when this is at capacity. But since we have the Aether Shards, they're just going to keep filling this in here. Now I'm going to target just one of these, and I'm going to call them back. But it also has that Pikmin hold down, and then I can just like grab everybody if I want to and cancel all that. So this is a saw bench. It's currently making sawn timber. I can also have it make bark now. I can have it make a wood panel. Then you get into like making fertilizer, which is going to be a cutter. Again, I can also use this to make more of the clumps, which is what the Aether comes from. So they've done a pretty good job, in my opinion, of giving you pretty like tight packages to work within. You also have all this logic stuff you can do on your pathing. So I could have an item filter. Hey, if you're a spark, you can only cross this section if you're carrying sawn timber, because maybe I need that piece and not logs going over to one of the other setups. I can do a crossway. I can also do a blocker.
That's
I can
interesting.
do a
So you
split.
could like set up a path that multiple sparks would walk over, but make sure like it's allowing you to have fewer paths so you don't have to. Yeah. Okay. That's kind of cool.
And I set this one up to do like this is probably like one of my most compact little areas. So this here is making a ladder, which is what I need to get to that tier 4 expansion, because that's what they go vertical. When you go out further, you have to build ramps and ladders that you and your sparks can go up to get to that higher level tier. So I just got to a point where I'm making this now, but for the longest time, I was making these wooden blades. So now this requires both a log and a sawn timber. Well, logs are needed to make sawn timber, so that's what's happening here. So these logs go in, and he's just going to put them directly to these 2 here. They don't have any right now because they're filling this up. But over here, then this requires a log and a sawn timber. So what I've done is I've put one, which is just here waiting for the sawn timber, which is being made right now. So they're going to grab that sawn timber and put it into this. Then this one is going to bring the log that's coming from that tree into this. And that's going to produce once they get enough of each one. And then this will make the ladders, which this little guy will take out. And then I can come over here and I can collect all of my ladders, which I just did. And then I've just set up storage sheds, which can do 2 things, both hold any equipment, and you can put signs up next to it, which whatever you want it to be. So I can put those over there, and I've got my setup there. I just got quartz, and I haven't set this up yet, so I can grab quartz and say I'm going to keep that in here, and then move that over. And then the other piece that I got was coral, which I don't have a lot of yet, but I know I'm going to keep that there. So this will become my coral shed. But I can also go in and customize how my character looks. So you can do skin color, eye color, hair type, which they don't have bald, so I'm sorry, everybody, I'm lying to you. But then you have your cape.
Just living the dream.
Living the dream. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd go back. Too easy now. But you will be able
That's
to unlock different things.
I did just get a haircut. Man, it's so nice. It's so nice to have short hair again. You just don't have to care. You don't have to care as much. It's great.
There's trade-offs. Like, there's days I wish I could just feel the wind in my hair, but there's other days I'm just like, you know what? This is easy to go.
Yeah, I definitely had that thing where I took a shower and then, like, as I was showering, I tried to hair flip like I did before when I had longer hair, and go, oh, I didn't feel anything. Oh, right, because the hair's short. Right, that's what happened.
But you can add in some patterns and stuff to it. It's pretty simple, but it still gives you a little bit to do with it. So yeah, this is the section I've set up. And for the most part, man, I think that there's a ton of potential here. I'm having an absolute blast with it. I love creature collectors. I really enjoyed Pikmin, and I love automation. So somebody said, if you think Factorio is too hard to approach and you like the style of a Pikmin, this might be a really great game for you. And so far, people seem to really dig what they're doing. They've got a really nice roadmap ahead of it. Multiplayer is I think multiplayer is in it right now in beta. So I could see this being a really fun thing to play with somebody if they were into it. But the element of having the Pikmin-esque things where you can throw things in here is, I think that's really cool. It does add a little bit of a threat with combat, so you've got some of that to go. And it seems like they're really going to be building out on it. But from a first impression of an early access, I think that there's some cool stuff happening with this one for sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask, because we asked this kind of question when we talk about roguelike deck builders, because there are so many of them, and it's hard to know which are the ones that you need to play. And the question we ask is this going to replace, or is this going to stand up to the monster trains or the ones that we know that we love?
I think the house favorites here.
Yeah, we'd throw Balatro into that now.
Yeah, totally.
And I would ask the same question about this, but I think you kind of just answered it, where it is this addition of kind of monster collecting and the Pikmin-esque stuff. You were doing similar stuff in Pal World, I remember, where you have your own little slaves again, and you're having them do all the dirty work for you. But that was also a Pokemon, open world Pokemon game, and this one is it's kind of open-y world, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
But with this Pikmin style on top. And I don't know, that is kind of interesting. I mean, it's not interesting enough for me to play one of these games, but I can understand why you think, oh, okay, let's try this one too.
Well, I also think if they end up adding in a little, if they lean into the creature part a little bit more, and Pikmin does, they don't have rare Pikmin and things of that nature, but they do have kind of this Metroidvania quality where it's I know I'm going to need something more here. All these trees I'm clearing out right now, I've not been able to clear them out until I had Choppy. I just got Choppy recently. So now I was building around in some tighter spaces to try and get my setup to be working. And now I'm learning a little bit more about efficiencies and how not only can I put more of the right appropriate sparks in, because for the longest time I was just using Stumpies, that stock one. But now I can produce, these trees are a lot faster. I'm able to do multiple things. I don't have to get bark from a tree. I can keep that going, and then I can actually have a wood shop process bark. So I'm trying to think now, how can I position and daisy chain things together to make the most compact and efficient setup as possible. And I haven't even really started to use this logic of switches and gates and stuff like that. Probably won't get that into the weeds until I have everything I can get so far. And they give you a warning, because I think when you get past World Tier 3, it's hey, we think this area you're going to is really cool. It's not baked to the level that this other stuff is, but have fun, give us some feedback. So I'm at a point now where it's because I've put a lot of time into this since it came out.
How much time do you think you put in?
Dude, I'm probably 15-ish hours, I bet. And a lot of that, because I haven't shown a lot here, because I think that there's something to be said about exploring, but I've gone pretty far. This map, the fog only goes where you walk. So I've gone out and done all this stuff. Now I only have the blue areas, what I've really set up from production. So you can see that I've not built much else. I got a little here, here, and here. And those are just shrines. I got some stuff over here. But these giant trees, those are the things where I can get logs and bark. So you can see I can set up quite a bit in these areas. This is going to start to get me, like, I'll just walk over there as we wrap up here. Oh yeah, you can also just place markers. So if I wanted to come in here and do that, I could put a marker down and go to that one.
There is like that Parks and Rec quality of the Requiem for a Tuesday. Could a depressed person do this? Whenever I see you in any of these factory games.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is so that I don't know yet. Like, certain critters will drop the actual pellet that you need that makes the shard, but I haven't found a way yet to automate that to where it's like I can get a constant flow of aether going, or ether, however you want to say it. But I'm working on that next too. So like, those are some things like I'd really like to set up more of a production camp over here, and I'm just having a great time. It's been super chill. If you are in the wholesome, I think this actually was shown off at one of the wholesome game fests, if you can imagine that.
There's nothing wholesome about this.
No, there's plenty. It's sick, but wholesome. But yeah, I think you should this is definitely one to keep on your radar. It is an early access, so depending on like what your thoughts are on early access, your mileage may vary, but I'm having a great time with it. And I think there's absolutely room at the table for this one. It's doing some pretty inventive stuff with the characters and creatures. And I'm finding an absolute just delight in building these little quirky, it's the quirkiest automation game I've played. I'll say that. I think that's fair. And that's not in a bad way. It's definitely really cool. So this is Oddsparks, an automation journey or adventure. It's in early access right now. I do think they have plans to bring it to consoles down the line. I'm sure if you want to know more about this, I'll be talking about it on our podcast, The Casual Hour, with our other co-host Johnny. We record that every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central on Twitch and YouTube and Instagram now. So you can tune in there, or you can listen on Fridays wherever you get your podcast. Chase and I do play a lot of games together on Monday nights for Casual Mondays. And Johnny and I have been playing a lot of Helldivers on Friday nights. But we'll be talking about this game, I'm sure, and I'll be giving updates on its progress. And certainly when it hits 1.0, we might do another quick look or a revisit stream or something like that. But so far, Chase, I found I keep staying sick. Can't get healthy.
That's for damn sure. So yeah, Oddsparks, it's on PC, excuse me, PC, Steam, and Epic. It's normally $20. It's 10% off right now in early access. Thanks for showing it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for watching.